This is Pre-Algebra Lesson 2.4, and the goal of this lesson is to be able to divide powers that have the same base. So one thing we're going to review to start with is dividing or multiplying powers with the same base. So if I had 4 to the second times 4 to the fifth, do you remember how we added exponents and we got 4 to the 7th? Well, we're going to use something like that when we're dividing powers with the same base. Alright, so we have 2 to the 6th over 2 to the 4th. And when the 2's are the same, when the bases are the same, what we do is we subtract exponents. So we're going to take 2 to the 6th minus 4, which is 2 to the 2nd. So let's generalize. If I have a to the m divided by a to the n, it becomes a to the m minus n. We subtract exponents. So let's try writing m to the 12th divided by n to the 5th using a single exponent. Well, we start by dividing. 12 minus 5 becomes 7, so it becomes m to the 7th. Alright, so I would like you to try these three. So pause the video. Alright, now that you've tried them, 7 to the 9th over 7 to the 4th becomes 7 to the 9 minus 4, which is 7 to the 5th. T to the 9th over t to the 2nd becomes t to the 9 minus 2, which is t to the 7th. The last one was a little bit trickier. Now in the denominator, the exponent on that y is a 1. So now that y has a 1, we're going to do y to the 5th minus 1, which is y to the 4th power. So here's an interesting question. So what is 4 to the 0? What does that mean? Well, the exponent rule is any non-zero number or variable raised to the 0 power is 1. So no matter what we have, anything to the 0 power is 1. So let's explore why that is. If I have 3 to the 5th divided by 3 to the 5th, first of all, 3 to the 5th over its same thing is 1. But if we apply our exponent rule, 3 to the 5th and 3 to the 5th, and subtract exponents, we get 3 to the 0. So if that's true, 3 to the 0 must be 1. And that's always happens. Anything to the 0 power is always 1. So for number 4, h to the 0, you got it, it's 1. 5's slightly more tricky. I want you to just take a look at the x to the 0 part to start with. And notice that that is being multiplied by the 6. And x to the 0 is 1. But that 6, we haven't multiplied by that, so after we do the x to the 0, which is 1, we have to multiply it by 6, and we get 6. Alright, number 6. Here we're taking the quantity 2r, we're taking this whole thing to the 0 power, so no matter what 2r is, if it's raised to the 0 power, we get 1. Then we have what are called negative exponents, and negative exponents have an interesting quality. If we have a number to a negative power, it turns into a fraction. So if I have 4 to the negative 2 power, it becomes 1 over 4 to the positive 2 power. So what's in the numerator, that negative exponent, gets bumped to the denominator. Alright. So here's an example. Here we have 6 to the 2nd over 6 to the 5th. So we know that when we're dividing, we first need to subtract exponents. And 6 to the 2 minus 5 becomes 6 to the negative 3. But that's an improper way to write our answer. So if we have a negative exponent, that entire thing is going to go in the denominator of the fraction, and we put a 1 on top. So we get 1 over 6 to the positive 3. Alright, the last one. If I have 7 to the negative 3, it rewrites as 1 over 7 to the positive 3. So let's try these ones on the bottom. We're taking negative 3 to the 7th over negative 3 to the 8th. So we're going to First of all, subtract exponents. So we're going to do 7 minus 8, which is negative 3 to the negative 1. But we can't have a negative exponent, so we have to change that into 1 over negative 3 to the positive 1. And that is our simplified answer. Number 8. Take a moment to rewrite that. Alright, so since it has a negative exponent, we know we're going to have a 1 in the numerator, and the y to the 4th becomes positive. A couple more challenging questions. Notice here we are now multiplying, and when we multiply, what do we do with exponents? We add them. So we're going to take the exponent of 7 and add it to the negative 9, and we get 5 to the negative 2. But we can't have a negative exponent, so we're going to have 1 over 5 to the positive 2. 8 times 8 to the negative 11. Well, first of all, that first 8 has a power of 1. And now that we know we're multiplying, we know we're going to add exponents. So we're going to have 8 to the 1 plus negative 11, which is 8 to the negative 10. But again, we can't have negative exponents, so we have a 1 over 8 to the positive 10, and that's our simplified answer. All right, that concludes this lesson.